Hey, what's up, guys? So coming to you today with the what's next on Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomanchenko after their huge lightweight showdown for the undisputed lightweight title that took place Saturday, October 17th on ESPN. Ended up being a really, really good fight. Kind of back and forth in terms of the rounds that the two fighters should have won. The judges really had the fucking fight out of whack. The judge that had it 9 rounds to 3, he was off a little bit. But the one that had Julie Letterman, Harold Letterman's daughter, she was tripping, man. She had it 11 rounds to 1, and I don't know what fucking fight she was watching, but Lopez again. I had personally had it a draw. Lopez had some clear rounds that he won. The rounds that were clear for Lopez were 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then round 12. So that is 6 rounds in my book right there that he won clearly. The other 6 that I gave to Lomanchenko were rounds 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now, there's 2 swing rounds in there that could have been called either way. I don't have a problem with them being called for Lopez that I gave to Lomanchenko. Those are rounds 2 and 7. Now, rounds 8 through 11, he won for sure. I mean, there's no doubt. Everybody is saying it. Lopez won rounds. Lomachenko won rounds 8 through 11, no doubt. Again, rounds 2 and 7 are swing rounds. Could have called them either way. So, if somebody gave it to Lopez on a 115 to 113 card, which is 7 rounds of 5, I'm okay with that. 116, 112, which was the third judge, they had it right, which is 8 rounds to 4. I'm okay with that one too. But the other rounds are very clear on both sides that they won, and so Lopez ended up winning a unanimous decision overall, and is now the champion of all 4 governing bodies as of right now. So the big question now, we'll go in order from the winner, and then the guy who lost the fight, Lomanchenko, will do him second. So what's next for Teofimo Lopez, the newly undisputed world champion at lightweight? It's really up in the air. Obviously, I think most people want to see a rematch. I think most people feel a rematch is warranted. I'm one of those people. I think Lopez should fight Lomanchenko again. One, there's no bigger name at lightweight than Lomanchenko that you can make more money with. That's just plain and simple. If somehow he were to get Gervonta Davis to come into the ring with him, I think Davis might make equally the amount of money, but that's going to be a hard fight to make between Top Rank, the PBC, and Mayweather Promotions. Very hard fight to make. Even if Gervonta Davis beats Leo Santa Cruz, does Mayweather and the PBC want to throw Gervonta Davis in against a hard-hitting and big lightweight like Teofimo Lopez? I don't know right now. I don't know if that's a fight that either one of them want. Not right now for Davis. So I'm leaning towards the no, that ain't going to happen. So money-wise, Lomanchenko, there's nobody bigger than Lomanchenko at lightweight that Lopez could fight for money at 135. But there are other fights out there. It's just, again, like the Davis fight, I think they're hard to make. Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney, I don't see happening next. Because Devin Haney has to fight the winner of Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. Ryan Garcia is fighting Luke Campbell in December. The winner of that fight is the interim champion, and then Devin Haney in November is fighting Yuriorkis Gamboa in an optional defense. Devin Haney's probably going to win that one. If he does, he fights the winner of Garcia and Campbell. So I don't really think they'd be in line to fight Lopez. Plus, that's 2 different promoters to work with for Top Rank. They're either going to have to work a Golden Boy, which would be Ryan Garcia, or they'd have to work with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, which is Devin Haney. So, I just don't see either one of those happening next for Lopez. Now, any other options at lightweight, there could be a fucking boatload of them. One, he's the franchise WBC champion, so he doesn't have to worry about mandatories with the WBC, the green belt. Lopez doesn't. The WBA belt, same thing. He doesn't have to worry about mandatories. He has a super title for the WBA, which means he doesn't have to fight mandatories. Now, The WBO, I don't think they have a mandatory right now, but I think they are ordering a mandatory fight, but I don't think Lopez would have to fight that guy next. So that's 3 belts. He wouldn't have to worry about the mandatory. The IBF is the belt that I think is confusing right now, and here's why. They already have a mandatory title fight a mandatory number 1 contenders bout taking place this weekend coming up between Lee Selby and George Kambosos Jr. The winner is a number 1 contender. But what might help Lopez is they also have a number 2 spot fight happening this weekend on the 31st when Isaac Cruz battles Diego Magdaleno. So what I'm thinking, if all the governing bodies want to allow Lopez to, let's say, fight Lomanchenko again, or just make a defense against somebody at lightweight, I think the IBF might say, okay, Selby and the winner of the Selby-Kambosos fight fights the winner of the Cruz-Magdaleno fight. Basically a box-off tournament. The winner becomes the interim champion and gets a direct shot against Lopez in the second half of next year, or against whoever the IBF champion is. And if Lopez or whoever the champ is would vacate the title, then the interim champ will be upgraded to full champion. That's what I think the IBF could do. So from what I think, I believe the IBF will, and all 4 governing bodies will allow Lopez to defend the undisputed title next. But who's that going to be against? You run through the top 10 real quick. Lomachenko makes the most sense, most money, and I think he owes Lomachenko a rematch. Lomachenko gave him the fight, so he should give back. He's saying Lomachenko's a sore loser. He's crying about his shoulder surgery, making excuses that he's not giving him a rematch. Bob Arum came out and said he's going to talk to Lopez about the money and how much it would be to have a rematch with Lomachenko, and go from there. But the other fighters in the top 10, you got number 3 is Linares. I don't see Lopez and Linares. Maybe it can be made. That's Golden Boy working with Top Rank. Maybe if Lopez wants to go that route, but Linares is not the name that Lomachenko is. So I don't see why Lopez would fight him, but I wouldn't completely rule it out. Then you got number 4 is Luke Campbell. I personally feel he's going to lose to Ryan Garcia, and I feel Ryan Garcia is going to lock up with Devin Haney for the WBC belt. That's an ordered fight. That's what I think is going to happen next. So I don't see Lopez and Campbell. Then you have Gervonta Davis. I think Davis is going to beat Leo Santa Cruz, but I don't think that these 2 guys are going to lock horns. I really don't think Mayweather and the PBC want a guy like Lopez yet, but it could happen. Then you got the other fight for Lopez would be number 6, Richard Comey, a rematch. Not going to happen. No, it would make no sense. Number 7, Javier Fortuna, not a big enough name for him to stay at lightweight, so I don't see it. Ivan Mendy at number 8, not seeing it. Not a big name. Lee Selby's fighting to become that mandatory number 1 contender. The question is, would Lopez fight Selby if the IBF orders Selby to fight the winner, follows through and I don't know. I mean, to go out there and get a knockout win, if Selby beats Kambosos, of course, on this weekend on the 31st, I mean, maybe Lopez, but the winner of that fight doesn't have a big name, so does Lopez want to do that? That's the big question. And then Ricky Burns rounds out my top 10, and I don't see him fighting Ricky Burns. Burns is a former champ, but faded and a long time, since he's been relevant, so I don't see that. So I think in the top 10 at lightweight, I think it's going to be Lomachenko again. I mean, would be who I would pay. Now, 140, I think he wants to wait to see who the undisputed champion's going to be between Ramirez and Josh Taylor, and then move up and fight the winner of that fight. That's what I think, because that's both top rank. That's top rank all working together. But, there's other options. Like, what if he wants to avoid a Lomachenko rematch so he can fight the winner of the undisputed title fight between Ramirez and Taylor in the second half of next year? Because Lopez has said a lot that he wants to move to 140, that he wants to move up there. So there's other names. There's Jose Pedraza. There's Jose Cepeda. Victor Pastal. There's names that Top Rank can put in front of him at 140 if he wants to leave all the belts and move up to 140. Personally, if I had to pick, I'm going to say Lomachenko is going to be the fight, but we don't know. So that's Teofimo Lopez and his what's next. Let's look at Vasyl Lomanchenko now, the man that lost the fight. Had a shoulder surgery. He wants the rematch. I really think Bob Arum's going to really stick it to Teofimo Lopez about how much money he's going to make to fight him again. I think Lopez owes him the rematch. So I think Lomanchenko needs a campaign for that rematch hard. And needs to go for it because he might be able to win the Undisputed title from Lopez and it'd still be considered the Undisputed title. But he's only going to have one fight to do that, and it has to happen next. Or those belts are going to get divided up, and Lopez won't stay around at 135. So I think this is the fight that needs to happen. Now, if for some reason it doesn't happen, and he stays at lightweight, does he fight Jorge Linares again? Maybe. But for it to not be for a belt, I'm leaning towards the no. I don't think he fights Luke Campbell again. He already beat Campbell. Campbell might be the interim champion, but he'd be in line to fight Ryan. I think Campbell's going to lose to Ryan Garcia. I don't see that. Gervonta Davis. I don't think Davis. I think Davis would make the excuse now in Mayweather that because Lomachenko lost to Lopez, that they don't have to fight Lomachenko next. I think that would be their excuse to not put Davis in front of Lomachenko. So I don't see that one. Plus Top Rank working with Mayweather and PBC. Such a difficult fight to be made there. Richard Comey, there's no point for Lomachenko to fight a big guy like Comey. If he's not going to be able to knock him out in 2 rounds like Lopez did, it's a waste. Javier Fortuna, again, that's PBC working with Top Rank. I don't see it. At number 7, Ivan Mendy, not a big name. If it's not for a title, doesn't make sense. I don't think he would fight Lee Selby if Selby becomes #1 contender. I don't think he'd fight him or Ricky Burns. Now, is there a chance he could move down in weight, though? That's one thing I'm considering right now. I think there's a chance of that. You got Miguel Berchelt is fighting Oscar Valdez. If Berchelt beats Valdez impressively and Lopez doesn't give the rematch to Lomachenko, I think this fight makes the most sense because Lomachenko's a beast at 130 and there are decent fights to be made at 130. So why not move down and go after the top dog? You guys are both with Top Rank. I think Miguel Berchelt's a very big possibility to happen next because it'd be for a world title. He'd be in optional mode, and he's the #1 guy at 130, and that's more his natural weight anyways. So that's what I'm thinking there. Then after that is let me see. There's other options. Joseph Diaz is a no, not with Top Rank. Other guys with Top Rank, Oscar Valdez, if he pulled off the upset, maybe. Jamel Herring, he's lined up to fight Stevenson and all that. Stevenson and Carl Frampton. So I really think Miguel Berchelt's the best bet unless you throw him in against somebody like Andrew Cancio who just started with Top Rank or something to get Lomachenko a knockout win and back into it. But I don't think Lomachenko wants to take those second and third class fighters. I think he wants to go straight after the top dogs and so I think I think Miguel Berchelt at 130 or I think it's going to be Teofimo Lopez at 135 for Lomachenko. But all right, guys, that's the what's next on Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko after their Undisputed title fight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.